Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy J Rock. Today I'm gonna be hitting you with another comic book review slash overview. It's not much of an overview here because this is a trade paperback, but we're gonna be talking about Boom Studios, Big Trouble in Little China by John Carpenter. Some of y'all may be familiar with the movie. That shit was dope. It was insane back in the day. I haven't seen that in a minute, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch the movie and probably drop a review on that as well. But this I found interesting. I love the 80s movies, a lot of them, and a lot of them have comic book adaptations nowadays. So this is one, this is supposed to continue directly where the movie left off, part one. It always felt like we were gonna get a part two, and it just never happened. I always felt like we got it coming, and nothing, right? Okay, so let me get to the book a little bit, showing the physical build of it, kind of like an overview. Then we'll talk a little bit about the story as we flip through the pages. Sound good to you? All right, then let's get to it. This is the front cover. This is John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China Legacy Edition, Book 1. Now, Legacy Edition is kind of the equivalent of a Marvel Complete Collection trade paperback or Dark Horse Omnibus trade paperback, meaning they're chunky and they usually collect two or three of the original thin trades. This will collect three of them in one thick trade, volume 1, 2, and 3. This is the cover right here. Looks pretty sick right here. You see Lopan, Egg, Wang, and Jack. Okay, this is the spine here. It says Boom Studios Legacy Edition Carpenter Book 1. Now I'll let you know back here that it collects the first 12 issues, 1 through 12, right there, 1 through 12, or the first 3 volumes. On these Boom Studios, each volume collects 4 issues. So volume 1 is 4 issues, 1 through 4, volume 2 is 5 through 8, and volume 3 would be 9 through 12. So it collects the first 3 trade paperbacks. Cover price of $30 US for about 330 pages or so, 320. 20th Century Fox logo right there. So 320 pages for 30 bucks. It's about $10 per every 100 pages or so. Okay, let's dig into the inside. Okay, so this is the pages on the inside. Doesn't really have a table of contents, which sucks. It would be cool if it showed you where what page volume 1 ended, what page volume 2 starts, and so forth. But we get all this info on the sides. The creators, John Carpenter, Eric Powell. John Carpenter does the plot and so forth, and I think Eric Powell does the writing. Yeah, see Eric Powell on writing, John Carpenter and Eric Powell on story. Now, if you're familiar with Eric Powell, he does the Goon. So if you like that type of comedy, you're probably gonna like this because it has similar comedy. Once you get to the end, you have here the cover gallery and so forth. All this does is show you the covers. Cover to issue 1, and so forth. One thing I didn't like is it has all the covers at the end, and a lot of these books do this. I don't know why they don't show the cover to the issue. Like, for example, if this is the cover to issue 3, show this cover before issue 3 starts. Instead, they do this. See, when one issue ends, they show this like a red page, meaning that issue ended. And you see some artwork here. And then they show this. And it's kind of like a cover, but to a different issue. See, we're starting chapter 2, meaning issue 2. But instead of showing the cover to issue 2, it shows this. I wish here it showed those covers instead of way at the end of the book. That's some problem I had with a lot of the Dark Horse stuff as well. Okay, so that's the overview of the book itself. Now let's flip through some of the pages, some of the art, and we'll talk a little bit about the story itself, and I'll give you my opinions on it. All right, what I like here is see where the last movie ended? Jack Burton got on this semi and took off. He was driving away, and this demon was on back of the semi, right? Here's the same thing. So right where the movie ended, right here, is where this one starts, which was pretty cool. When it ended this way, we all thought, oh, for sure we're getting a part 2. Never happened. So Boom Studios and John Carpenter did us the favor of, you know what? Let's go ahead and make it happen. He's getting in the car here. Now it turns out he killed Lopang. So once this was Lopang's demon that served him, but once he killed him, the demon will now serve the person that slayed its master. So from there it takes a comedic tone because he kind of makes him his pet and so forth, right?
The art, I wasn't on board with it at first, but the book is very comedic, and after a while, you kind of feel like, all right, like the art kind of fits the tone of the book itself. These first four issues, being volume one, I wasn't really digging, to be honest with you, but stick through it, it gets better. I was ready to quit on it myself. The comedy was not for me, it was kind of that. But then, and even the story is like, it's almost like Powell and Carpenter, they didn't have an idea of where they want to go with the book. It's a bunch of one-liners and stuff like that. And then once you get to like issue five, six, the volume two, it starts really picking up and it really starts getting good. It starts feeling like the movie. Here he gets sent to hell. Look at this. The artwork here is pretty sick. Here's his truck. He gets sent to hell to pick up some stuff for this evil wizard. And look at that. He dates this vampire girl. Look, the big turtle. Like, obviously, they're in hell. All kinds of crazy shit's going down over there. It gets insane, especially when they're in hell. It's real. It's really like off the rails. And the movie, if you remember watching the movie, it's kind of like that too. It's very off the rails, all over the place. The art, the style, it's subjective. You know, we all have different tastes, but the way the story moves, this artist, Churrilla, he's a decent storyteller with the art. It gets you where you need to be. We got this other evil sorcerer that kind of replaced Lopin, and he's kind of he's okay, but it really gets good once he resurrects Lopin, because here's Lopin. You know he's coming back because he's his main nemesis. Once he comes, see here he is, he's resurrecting him. Once he comes back, that's when the book really picks up. Here he is. This is the end to volume one. Once he comes back, it really gets on and popping, and it starts feeling like the movie again, and it's that's when it gets really good in my opinion. So you gotta wait till like issue five.
Alright, for y'all that watched the movie, remember Wang is like the martial artist. He's kind of like the hero of the movie, and Egg is the sorcerer. So they're dealing with stuff they know a lot about, sorcery and kung fu magic and so forth. And Jack Burton, he's this trucker, so he's just this white boy walking along, and he gets caught up in the mix, right? So he's just in the thick of it, and this whole kung fu sorcery showdown. He just kind of picks up a tech or whatever, and he just starts thinking he's a hero as well. Like, let me grab a gun, an automatic, and I'm gonna help these guys out because I'm in the thick of it, right? But he's no hero. He knows nothing about any of this stuff. He's just winging it as he goes along. So he's very much like the sidekick. He's always just, he's brave. He has heart, but he don't got no skills or any know how of what's going on. He's just in there trying to help because he's in the middle of everything himself, right? So he's constantly screwing up. He's like the sidekick, but he thinks he's the hero. He's the head honcho, but it's really the other two. That's what made the movie pretty funny. It's like Beverly Hills Ninja. That guy that played that came out of Mortal Kombat. He's the martial artist. He's the hero, and Chris Farley. He's like the sidekick. He's down with the kung fu, but he don't know what the hell he's doing. Right? He's always screwing up. So that's kind of what the movie is about. And here you get a little bit of that vibe, but not as much because here he comes off a little more competent. He's not as comedic when he's fighting and so forth, but he's comedic with the stuff he says. All in all, I thought it was a decent read, pretty quick to read through. I'd give it like a 6. It had its moments where it felt a little bit like the movie and I really got into it then, but it had more moments where it was kind of like too wacky for me, for what I wanted Big Trouble in Little China to be. So yeah, I give it probably about a 6 out of 10 with the story and 6 out of 10 with the art as well. If you read this, let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you're thinking of picking it up if you haven't. And I know there's a volume 2 that collects the next 3 trades, volume 4, 5, and 6. And that one is written by Fred Van Lente, which he's also comedic and he can write some good stuff. So I'm iffy if I want to pick it up. I want to pick it up for his writing to see what he does with it, see what this new creative team does. But at the same time, based on this book, I didn't really feel the need to want to continue. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I hope you like this review, and I hope that kind of swayed you one way or the other. It helped you make your decision if you want to pick this up, or if you want to pass on it. If it did, hopefully feel some help. Hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more reviews and more overviews and so forth. All right, guys, I'll check you guys out next time.